Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another monthly Costco favorites video. So in today's video, I'm recapping some of my favorite purchases for the month. So if you enjoy those type of videos, stay tuned and let's get right into it. So my number one favorite purchase this month in March is definitely two new pairs of glasses. So at the beginning of the month, I took you guys in the warehouse with me and I shared the process of me picking them out and trying them on and just trying to see which ones I like best. So what I ended up doing was getting a pair of regular glasses that I absolutely love, and then I also decided to grab another pair of glasses because of the promo they had going on, and so I got some sunglasses. So now I am all set. These are what my sunglasses look like. I absolutely love both pairs. They fit my personality and my face so well. It's definitely taking me some time to get used to it because the prescription is a little bit stronger than what it was before. However, I'm super happy with this purchase. Another favorite this month is this jumpsuit that was in the warehouse. They had 3 color options to choose from: a darker red color, a navy blue color, and a black color. So when I saw it there, I definitely wasn't planning on getting it at all, but for $19.99, how can I not? So I grabbed the black one and I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much that I actually made a reel over on Instagram showing what it looks like on, and I showed some pictures in the community section on YouTube as well. Apparently, it was treat yourself month for me this time at Costco because they also had these blouses in the warehouse, and I definitely wasn't planning on getting a new blouse either, but I got this one in the white. I love it. It's only $14.99 and it's a good buy. I also picked up some pajamas for the kids because that was on a promo this month and I had to get it. This is a 4-piece set. That is $12.99. It's by the brand Carter's. It's unheard of. This price was definitely the best deal that I've had all year to date. So I'm so happy that I picked some up because these came in super handy for the girls. They literally wear these pajamas every single week since we purchased it. So it's definitely a favorite for them too. So while the girls were home on March break, I took them in the warehouse with me one week and we ran into these beautiful Easter dresses that don't come around often. Literally, they come for Easter and for Christmas and you'll probably never see it again in the warehouse, but they got these new patterns and these new prints and I absolutely love them, and so did the girls. So of course, we picked some up. They each got to pick their own one, and I'm so happy with their choices because the pastel colors are giving me all the spring vibes, and these dresses are such a good deal. It's $21.99 for 2 dressy dresses for little girls. That's unbeatable. You'll never find that anywhere else for this good of a price, and it's definitely a favorite for them. So this month in March, there were Ziploc bags on sale in the warehouse. So the medium-sized ones were on a sale for $12.99. I went ahead and picked those up because they're definitely a favorite of ours. And I also got the large ones as well because these are also a favorite and it's only $15.49. And whenever you see this stuff on sale, it's a sure sign you need to get it. I also picked up some Dawn dish soap this month and it's definitely a favorite of mine. I use this for dishes. I use it to clean my makeup brush. I use it to clean the sink. I use it to clean around the house with soap and water. Definitely a good buy. Another item I wanted to try for the first time, and it turns out to be one of my favorites, is the Kirkland Signature dish pack. So this is for your dishwasher, and I got it because I wanted to save a little bit on my dish pods. I felt like they were just a little bit expensive, and this is a definitely more affordable option. So I'm gonna demo how I use this, and I'm happy to report that on the first use, my dishes were clean. I was so excited about that. So I highly recommend you guys trying this out if you haven't already. It definitely compares really well to like the well-known bigger brands.
Gotta get it right.
guys, I've been eyeing this cookie cutter set for months now, and it was on a crazy good deal, so I had to pick it up, and it's definitely a favorite. This is gonna make baking so much fun for us. Next up on my favorites this month, I got this pop-up shelter that I've been watching for over a year now on Amazon, and it wasn't available at a good price. So when I saw it in the warehouse, I had to pick it up right away. This thing is massive and I haven't opened it yet, but I've seen the display in the warehouse, and this is going to be a lifesaver for us. We're manifesting a lot of time outdoors and on the beach, and this is going to come in so handy. So if you're interested in finding something like this, definitely check it out in the warehouse if it's still available. It's a favorite for us, and I'm shopping ahead for summer because when you shop in season, you don't have that many options. So this is me getting ahead. Go me. I never do this, so I'm so happy that I am. I also decided to pick up this scooter for one of my daughters for summer. Again, I'm just shopping ahead. This scooter has actually been in and out of the warehouse since the holiday season, so I was really lucky to get it on a sale, honestly. And at the beginning of this month, I shared that I bought this massive plastic wrap, and I shared the story about how like my mom bought this once when I was a kid and I never remembered her buying it again. So I went ahead and took you guys advice, and I wrote down the date from when I bought this, and I'm so curious to see how long this is gonna last now that the date is on there. I'll always know. Next up, I also got this succulent. I've been eyeing this all February and I didn't get it. And in March when I walked in and it was still there, I was like, okay, I'm sold. This is a sure sign that this needs to come home with me. You guys know I have a plant addiction. So we've got a new plant baby. We've got a new plant baby in the family, and I'm not mad at it. Another favorite this month are these pure protein bars. They were on a sale, and I remembered when I saw the sale that I actually like these. So I picked them up and I've been snacking on them pretty much whenever I feel peckish. I have this issue where sometimes I literally just forget to eat. So having these protein bars come in super handy. And speaking of eating, I decided to pick up a new treat this month, and these Unreal dark chocolate coconut treats are absolutely delicious. An Insta favorite. They're so good. It's unreal that if something like this can be made with very little sugar and a good sugar at that, it would taste good. But dang, you guys, these taste really, really good, and I'll be buying them a lot. I also decided to pick up these Terra chips. They're actually one of my favorite chips. They're so healthy compared to like other options, and they are so crunchy, and the salt is like perfect. They're really good. Definitely a favorite. Glad I picked them up this month. This next item truly should have been my number one favorite, and it's the apple pie rolls that I've been talking about all month. The reason why I try these is because samples are back in the warehouse. If it weren't for the samples, I wouldn't be able to try them and I wouldn't have fallen in love. But I did want to share with you guys that it's located right by the bakery section in the freezer part. These are absolutely delicious. You guys have to try it. I know they're not available at all the locations. I feel you. I know that's frustrating, but keep looking, you guys. Keep looking. They're worth the hunt. You're gonna love them. I love them. They're definitely a favorite. Also, strawberries were a really good deal this month. I bought them every single week. And I also picked up some crab legs this month. They're definitely a favorite. These ones are so good. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but the quality doesn't disappoint. So if you like crab legs, I highly recommend you guys picking them up. They're not available every single month, so this might be your one and only time to get it for the next little while. This month, I also picked up some pork chops, which have instantly become one of my favorites again. Pork chops are so versatile. They're pretty much another version of chicken, so you can put any flavor you want on there. It cooks up so fast, it's not even funny. In fact, I'm always guilty of overcooking it because it cooks that fast. So anyways, with all that being said, I have some recipes I want to share with you all this month in my favorites. And the first recipe we're going to make is some honey garlic pork stir fry with rice and broccoli. This is something you would order at a restaurant. It is so dang good and it is so easy. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process right now. So for this recipe, I'm actually using 3 Costco size pork chops. They're thick, they're massive. You don't really need this much, but this is what I thawed out. I've already gone ahead and washed this with some vinegar water. Always wash your meat. And now I'm just going to cut it up into small pieces. and then we're just gonna stir fry it up. So the ingredients are super simple for this one. All you need is salt and pepper for the pork chops, and you're gonna need some oil to fry everything up in the pan. And you're also gonna need some red pepper flakes for some heat. If you don't like heat, just omit that completely. I'm actually using a ton of garlic because the more garlic, the better. If you're not a big fan of garlic, then maybe honey garlic stir fry is not for you in the beginning, but the garlic goes a long way. The flavor profile is insane. And I'm also going to be using real honey. I don't buy honey from Costco because it's not actually real honey. I buy honey from a local farm because they always have the real good stuff, and I'm a honey snob and I'm not mad at it. So I'm gonna stir fry this up and I'll be back in a little. I also wanted to mention that my cast iron pans are a two-piece set that I actually got from Costco about a year ago. Absolutely love them. They're going to be a family heirloom. So I have my hot pot going, and now I'm tossing in my broccoli. I completely spaced out and forgot to add the garlic first, but I went ahead and added it in after. And then I decided to start on my pork chops because I'm gonna have to do it in 2 batches because it's just a lot this time around. It's not all gonna fit in one pot at one time. It's not gonna cook evenly. And so I'm just doing my salt and pepper, and I'm also gonna add some mushrooms in here and also some bell peppers. So the mushrooms are literally just to hold the sauce. Honestly, when you bite into the mushroom in this recipe, it's just gonna like explode all the honey garlic sauce that you're making into your mouth. It's gonna be so good, and it's a nice balance between the pork chops if you end up overcooking it like what I always end up doing. And also the bell peppers are just like for a nice little color and a tiny bit of natural sweetness as well. It's just a really nice, well-balanced meal. I also wanted to mention that you can almost guarantee that whenever you see me in the kitchen cooking, I'm always cleaning and cooking at the same time. I'm a clean as you go type of chef. What type of chef are you? So here I'm just sauteing the mushroom and the garlic first before I go ahead and add my bell peppers because those take literally like 2 seconds to cook up. And so I'm using 1 portobello mushroom cap. That's all I'm using for this recipe. I could use 2, literally I could based on the amount of meat that I have, but I knew that my pan can only fit one in here because I did go ahead and use more meat than normal. So here is where you add the red chili flakes. You add it to the veggies because if you add it to the meat, it can be too spicy. Cooking it earlier on, you definitely want to cook it later on, or like the heat will kind of intensify. And so I'm just seasoning it super simple with some salt and pepper. And then the rest is just going to be history, basically. You're just going to add in your natural honey or whatever honey or sweetener that you have. Again, I'm using real honey, so I feel like the flavor is just next level. And also I'm using a cast iron pan. I feel like anything you make in a cast iron pan almost always tastes better than if you were to use like a regular pan. Now, you guys, I don't measure anything usually. So this honey, I'm just pouring it in to cover a good amount of the veggies because I'm going to need this honey to be my sauce. And I am using 3 thick pork chops. So I'm a little heavy-handed on the honey because I have a lot of meat, I have a lot of veggies, I have a lot of stuff going on, and I need to make sure I have enough sauce for it. So after adding in all that meat, I realized this needs a little bit more heat. It just wasn't enough. And this is what the sauce looks like as it starts to simmer. You're literally just going to let it simmer and thicken, and then the color will get a little bit darker. It'll start to look like this. So I know it's done when the sauce is just straight bubbles. So every time you move anything around, it's just like bubbles foaming. That's when I know it's done. And to celebrate such a delicious meal, I'm treating myself to a glass of wine. So I love Jacob's Creek. Their Moscato Rosé or Rosé Moscato is so good. I always try to treat myself whenever I'm doing a lot in the kitchen. It's hard work cooking for everyone, so don't ever forget, you need to treat yourself. This is me pushing up my glasses and taking my first sip. I felt like I had to share my first sip with you guys because this meal is going to be so delicious. I mean, look at it. This is restaurant quality at home. So good. Serve this with rice, broccoli, well-balanced meal, and I'm topping it off with some green onion for extra flavor because why not? And it looks pretty as well. I'm not very good at plating, but that's okay. I'm good at cooking and I'm good at eating the food that I make. So next up, I'm going to be sharing my air fryer salmon recipe and mashed potatoes with you guys. So the salmon is the frozen salmon that I always buy at Costco. The Cajun seasoning is available in the seasoning aisle at Costco. This is a dry rub. I'm not adding any oil. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm using this one lonely seasoning. This Cajun seasoning is so good. And I'm just going to rub it all over the top. And I'm also going to rub it all over the bottom. And when it's all seasoned, this is what it's going to look like. You could marinate this and let it sit in for a while, but like who really has time for that? I know I don't. I'm usually thinking of dinner right when everyone's hungry and I need to prepare some dinner. So tossing the salmon in the air fryer is a win for me because it's so quick. Literally, you can cook it for 12 to 15 minutes. Today, I decided to cook it for 15 minutes because the pieces were thicker than normal. I got really lucky with this bag. So I'm just going to put it on air fry. I'm going to make sure I match cook that way both sides cook at the same time. Sometimes I'm guilty of forgetting to do that. Now I'm just setting the time to 15 minutes. I'm going to let this do its thing. And in the meantime, I also have some potatoes boiling in some salt water. I've already washed them, peeled them. You guys know how to do potatoes in a pot. Like, I don't really have to show you that. But now that it's done, I seasoned it with some salt and pepper. I put some butter. I'm going to sprinkle in a dash of milk. And then the best part about these mashed potatoes is the cream cheese. So this is my first time trying the cream cheese from Costco, and it's actually pretty good. I'm always buying the Philadelphia because I'm brand loyal, but to save a little bit of money, I'm definitely okay with the Kirkland Signature one. It does taste good. It's definitely not bad. So you guys should definitely try it. And so now I'm just going to mash everything up until I get the consistency that I want. And in that time, look at how beautiful this salmon is, you guys. 15 minutes. And it's like crispy on the outside. The seasoning gets super dark and it looks like it's burnt, but I promise you it's not. So juicy, so flavorful, so good. And to make this even easier, I'm just tossing in one of my favorite salads that I tell you guys about all the time, the creamy dill pickle salad. This is what it looks like when you toss it in a bowl. And so I'm just gonna mix it up, plate it, we're gonna eat. And I promise you, this is the one that you're happy to eat your leftovers because it's good today. It's going to be good tomorrow. It's going to be good next week. It's going to be good whenever because it's just that dang good. You guys have to try this one in 15 minutes in an air fryer for salmon. Guys, you gotta do it. You just gotta do it. This one is definitely a favorite for my husband and I. Next up, I'm sharing my slow cooker barbecue pulled pork with some veggies and homemade cornbread. So first off, we're starting off with the pork. So I'm using the pork roast that I get from Costco. I usually just cut them up into pieces. That way it's not like a full piece because sometimes it's just massive. So my last package, I literally cut it into four. So instead of two pieces, I got four. So I like double the amount that I got for my money. And so all I'm doing is just frying this up in a pan with some garlic and oil and a little bit of salt and a whole bunch of pepper. And so what this is going to do is give the meat a little bit more flavor essentially. When you put it in the slow cooker, I feel like if you don't fry it up first, the meat tastes kind of like mushy and not like what it should taste like. So this is me struggling to get the garlic to sit on top because I had all these visions of like how this is going to look all pretty, but there's no pretty way to pan fry a roast to get it ready in the slow cooker. So this is the seasoning packet that I'm using. I actually get this from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. They have all the crock pot ones there. And so this is the barbecue pulled pork. This is what it looks like. I even went ahead and tossed in the garlic from the pan and the oil as well. And now I'm adding in my favorite barbecue sauce of all time, the Sweet Baby Ray's. I'm just drizzling it over top for just, you know, a little extra something because maybe the seasoning packet won't be that good this one time. You never know. So I always just go ahead and add Sweet Baby Ray's because it literally just makes everything better. So I'm going to slow cook this on high for 8 hours to start. Really, this should be good at 6 hours, but I like to get mine a little bit on the crispy or charred side a little bit. So I always set it for a longer time and then I stop it if I need to. Now, I was going to share my cornbread recipe, but I completely forgot to record how I make it. So I'm going to leave the instructions or the ingredients and all that in the description box below. That way you guys can check it out and try it yourself. Super easy, so delicious. I make the best cornbread ever known to mankind. Trust me, it's that good. And this is what it looks like. You guys are going to love it. This meal is spring and summer vibes. This is dinner at Montana's, except on a budget because you did it at home. This is what I was talking about when I said it gets a little bit charred if you do it a little longer. I like when it starts to get like super dark. That way when I shred it up, I get some like crispy or like burnt bits. That's my jam. And this is what my amazing cornbread looks like when you cut into it, you guys. It is so, so good. I'm going to walk you guys through step by step in an upcoming video how I make this. I legit just ran out of cornmeal and I don't have any on hand to film and share again with you guys, but I will do it very soon in the future because I want you to love this just as much as we do. It's so good. And there you have it, 3 of my favorite meals that I've been enjoying making and enjoying eating this month of March. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching my favorites with me. I love sharing my monthly favorites with you all. And I also love spending time with you every Sunday morning for the premiere. So thank you again so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.